Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, who sits on the Finance and Intelligence Committee. Senator, it's great seeing you. I thank you so much for your time today. You know, Senator, I think back, I mean, you were part of the Gang of Eight that negotiated an immigration bill, a comprehensive immigration bill that passed the Senate in 2013, a bill that, among other things, included path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. It dealt with DACA. It dealt with the border, strengthening the border, and so much more. How do you compare that bill to the one that currently is on Capitol Hill and doesn't seem to have a lot of support?
Well, that bill is no longer going anywhere. The Gang of Eight bill was far more comprehensive. And as you said, you know, it had a pathway to citizenship for the 11 million people that are here that are undocumented, the most progressive DREAM Act that had ever been written, all kinds of visa stuff that's really important to our agriculture sector and even our high-tech sector, and $40 billion of border security. But it wasn't a medieval wall built over every mountain south of Texas. It was 21st century security that could allow us to see the border and monitor the border. And in my opinion, that's still where the American people are on this issue. They want a secure border. They don't want chaos at the border. They also want to know that we've got an immigration system that can drive our economy. And they know that a third of the economic growth in America for the last 100 years has been the result of immigration. All of that stuff sort of dropped off in the emergency that's been caused, or the chaos that's been caused by transnational gangs smuggling people from all over the world to the southern border of the United States. So look, we've got to get this Ukraine aid done in particular, and then we're going to come back, and I assume we're going to have a campaign where we're going to litigate these issues on immigration going into the general election. And then we've got to, I think, get back to a bill that looks a lot more like the Gang of Eight bill.
In no way am I calling you and me older, but that was already 11 years ago, Senator.
I know. Oh my God.
Do you ever think about, had that thing passed, had the House of Representatives, that at the time was majority Republican, even put that bill to a vote, and it could have been discussed to some possible conferencing later, how things would have been different if 11 years ago this thing would have been dealt with?
The whole world would look different today. I mean, I think that had they put it on the floor, remember, it got 68 votes in the Senate. Even Lindsey Graham yesterday was on the floor of the Senate reminding everybody how many amendments we had, how many votes we had, 68 votes. And if they just put it on the floor, it would have passed. And I don't think Donald Trump would ever been elected president. I don't think a guy could have rolled down the escalator at Trump Tower saying Mexicans are rapists and been elected president or even nominated to be president of the Republican Party. It was a terrible shame. I'll tell you, John Boehner, whom I actually like, who was the Republican Speaker, says the worst mistake he made as Speaker of the House was not putting the Gang of Eight bill on the floor. And I agree with him. It was a terrible mistake.
It was a terrible mistake, but they considered it. And the fact is that if you make a mistake not knowing that you're doing that, that's one thing. But they were very clear. Everybody was very clear that this was a possible, fantastic way of solving an issue, and they decided not to do it. And Senator, just going back to what you were talking about, the Ukraine and Israel aid bill, what do you see going forward on this?
Well, after the Republicans insisted that border be part of this and then they dropped it, we had a procedural vote yesterday that had 67 votes. 17 Republicans joined the Democrats, and we've got to stay here throughout this weekend until this is done. The Ukrainian people have astonished the world in what they've done over the last 2 years. Putin invaded their country. Kyiv was supposed to fall in 72 hours, and instead these folks have taken back half the territory that Putin stole from them. They've kicked him basically out of the Black Sea. You've got an entire country of MacGyvers who have figured out how to do that without even having a navy. And their fight is not just for Ukraine, it's for democracy. It's for freedom all over the world. And they have delivered, and they've shown that people are still willing to fight and die for democracy. The least we can do is continue to support them in this fight. This is a This is a profound test of our resolve as a nation, and this is a moment when the United States has to lead our allies, not just in Europe, but around the world, because if we don't, this war will not end. It will never end. Putin will continue his invasion of Ukraine. Xi Jinping will continue to rattle his swords with respect to Taiwan. And Putin, the last point I'll make, Putin is not doing that well on the Ukrainian battlefield. The battlefield he's trying to win on is here. He can read our newspapers. He looks at our social media. In fact, he manipulates our social media. He knows how dysfunctional we are, and he's counting to win on that dysfunction. I think he's going to be surprised this weekend that the U.S. Senate's going to come together and do the right thing. Then we're going to need the House to do the right thing as well.
Senator Michael Bennet, I thank you so much for being with us on this Friday. Let's continue our conversation going forward. And again, I apologize if I implied that we were in any way, I guess, ripe. We're not in any way ripe or old.
Come on, look at how old these frickin' pillars are. We got to get this immigration stuff before this place crumbles into dust.
Thank you, Senator. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks for having me.
Up next.